Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show, where truth matters. Thank you for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on television, syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast on the newsmasters.com and all the social media sites there. We're always so anxious to be with you every single day. Continue sending emails, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. We've got everybody's favorite sportscaster. His name is AP Steadham. It's always so good to be with AP. Hey, AP, wild weekend.
Yeah, Donna. Hey, how are you, Donna? Just doing great. Yeah, another weekend in the SEC with the football teams. I think there was 4 conference games, 12 games overall. So I was covering the Florida at LSU game. That's a big rivalry. And that series, I think, was tied up. Actually, Donna, but LSU prevailed, and their defense played pretty well. 5 interceptions they had, the Tiger defense in the secondary. So they showed out on Saturday night in Baton Rouge, and LSU's undefeated so far, and Florida is struggling. A couple of losses right now. Florida's a team, Donna, that their coach Billy Napier, it's a hot seat for them. They're heading to Miami this weekend. Miami's a top 10 team. They've been playing very well with Carson Beck, the transfer quarterback from Georgia, leads Miami right now. So the other difficult weekend for the Gators, if they can survive. I don't know how they're going to do it down with that incredible schedule that we've discussed many times, but it's something else to behold. But anyway, it was a good weekend for the SEC, and Georgia, Tennessee, that was the big ball game on the schedule within the league and really nationally. And Tennessee came out. They went ahead a couple touchdowns, but they couldn't hold on to the lead and gave up 40-plus points. And Georgia scored 40-plus points. Tennessee scored 40-plus points. They missed the field goal in regulation to win it. It was a little bit over 40 yards, and they couldn't hold on in overtime. So Georgia prevailed on the road. So, Donna, I think we spoke about this. Georgia is still the team to beat in the SEC. Now, they might lose a game or two along the way, but until I see otherwise, I think Georgia is still the team to beat in this conference.
I agree with you. You know what? I'm 10 miles from the Georgia state line, and there are so many Georgia fans right here where I am. Met one in church. So they walked up to us. Of course, he had the Georgia little logo,
Right.
Now he's still going down to church. And I said, "Oh, Georgia fan." And he said, "Yeah, what are you?" And I said, "I'm Auburn. He's Alabama."
Right.
He went, "Whoa."
Yeah.
They're very proud too.
Yeah, they have a good fan. Gunnar Stockton, their quarterback, threw for over 300 yards. He proved to many people that he can be the quarterback to lead the team and put up big numbers. I mean, like I said, they scored over 40 points in a hostile environment, 100,000 plus people. So I think Georgia, we knew they were going to have a better receiving core, catch the football. Last year they dropped so many, most in the country. So in Georgia, like I say, defensively, they'll probably be as good as anybody. They gave up 40 last week, but in this day and age, John, it's really, can you make some critical stops? That's how you determine your defense. If you can get the ball back and have your team's offense with more possessions and a chance to put points on the board. So, like I said, Gunnar Stockton was very good for the Bulldogs as their quarterback. And moving forward, I mean, that's going to give him a lot of confidence.
But you know something, I still don't think we need to discount Tennessee, because to be able to get to a powerhouse that good, I still think they're going to have a good ranking this year.
Right. If they continue on offense, and we said that Joey Aguilar would be an upgrade at their quarterback position, and he is for Tennessee, playing very well. The transfer from Appalachian State via UCLA for a few moments. So if Georgia's offense can continue to flourish, defense needs to get a little better. and they're going to win a lot of ball games and challenge people. They're on a path. I think they could be in the college football playoffs again, but they can't just say that we came close to Georgia and then forget the rest of the schedule. Say we're going to show up. We know we can play with Georgia, but these other teams are hungry as well.
Yeah.
So they've got difficult. Yeah.
Who did you say Tennessee is playing next week?
Oh yeah, next week Tennessee next week, Donna. They are playing. Let me look at this sheet here. They are playing University of Alabama Birmingham in Knoxville.
Okay.
So that's a game they should win by double digits and don't have any letdown. So, but they've got the rest of the SEC schedule. Through the games they have. Just to give you an example, Tennessee after UAB they play at Mississippi State and they have a bye. Then they host Arkansas, a team that scores a lot of points. Alabama, they have to travel to Tuscaloosa. Then Kentucky up in Lexington. Oklahoma's a game at home. We know Oklahoma's got a good team right now. They have a bye, and then they play New Mexico State, and then so they've got a lot of big ball games that they've got left on their schedule. So,
of the remaining games Tennessee has, I know it looks like I'm really going out there for Tennessee, but of the remaining games, which one is going to be the toughest one to win?
At this point, I'm thinking Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Alabama in Tuscaloosa. But they've got good offense, and that gives you a chance to win. But if they could play just a little bit better defense to help that offense play some complementary football, then they'd have a chance to win all their games. But we shall see. Long season. Oh
yeah, there's still a lot left to do, and changes within football, college football. That's bringing even more challenges. So
they're in the in contention, I think, for a college football playoff after I viewed their offense. And that quarterback, how he played against one of the top teams in the conference, Georgia.
What's another team that you really couldn't miss this past weekend?
Let me see. Alabama had a nice ball game against a Big Ten opponent. Wisconsin's not at the top half of the conference, maybe, but they did take care of business. Put 30-something points on them and held them to 14. So Alabama seems to have turned things around, playing much better, especially on the offensive side. The quarterback, Ty Simpson, he's hot as a pistol. High percentage. He's not missing many throws, and now they're starting to catch all the passes instead of dropping them like they did in the Florida State game. So Alabama, they struggle running the ball, but they just need to be efficient to some degree with that run game to keep things in balance for them. But they've got a good passing attack, and the defense is coming along. I think they're playing fast and loose now, whereas the first game, as the coaches have said many times, they were timid.
Mm-hmm. How about Auburn?
Auburn, they beat South Alabama. It wasn't overwhelming, but they put 30 points on the board, won by a couple of touchdowns, a little bit more. And this week they're facing Oklahoma at Norman. So that's a big challenge for them. Jackson Arnold, who played at the University of Oklahoma, transferred to Auburn. Now he's going back to play at Norman, so that's an emotional ball game for him, I'm sure. But Auburn's a good football team, and Oklahoma on the road is going to be difficult, I think, for Auburn. It should probably be a close, competitive game. I would favor Oklahoma at this point, but it just takes one play, one punt return, a kickoff return, fumble, and gives you the ball in the in the red zone, that type of thing. So I think that Oklahoma and Auburn will be one of the games that you probably would like to watch this weekend.
Absolutely. Now who is within your top 10 right now?
The top 10, Donna. When I submitted my vote last week, I had Penn State, still number one for me, Georgia, Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon, Texas, LSU, Indiana, Miami, and Texas A&M is a new team for me, Donna. They went to Notre Dame. won a close ball game, 41-40. And that was really very exciting. So the Aggies right now, undefeated, and they're looking pretty good, but they got it. Like all the teams I mentioned, Donna, if they can play a little bit better on the defensive side, that's gonna change their fortunes this season. Offensively, Marcel Reed, the quarterback, he his second season with the Aggies, so he had a very good ball game. So can Texas A&M play a little bit better defense this weekend? Texas A&M, they have the bye this weekend, and then they host Auburn the following week.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a game to remember too.
Yeah. Auburn's got Oklahoma on the road, and they have to go to Texas A&M. So Auburn's got a couple tough weeks here.
Yeah, possibly slip down quite a bit too.
Yeah, they need to go 1-1 in these next couple of games. Need to win one of them at least.
Vanderbilt's still pulling it out there too.
Vanderbilt, that team down, you have to love Diego Pavia, the quarterback that transferred from Mexico State. They went on the road to play South Carolina. South Carolina had an excellent quarterback. Lenore Sellers was injured early, left the ball game. South Carolina, 31-7, I think that final score was. That was a big surprise. Big surprise for Vanderbilt to win that game, and that with that big score over the Gamecocks in Columbia. So Vanderbilt, Donna, they're still undefeated, and they host Georgia State, Donna, this week. Now you say Georgia State, maybe that's a team they should beat. Last year, Vanderbilt fell asleep and lost that game. So this is one that's marked on their calendar to host Georgia State and win that ball game.
What do they have to do to win that game?
Yeah, just remember that they have the better talent and play to their ability, Donna. And of course, as always, don't turn it over. Play solid on defense. Make all your field goals, the ones within 40 yards minimum. Make all those, and just continue with their offense under Diego Pavia, the quarterback, and they'll be fine. They should win that ball game against Georgia State. They should be 4-0.
Well, let's talk about the coaches. Which coach do you think could outcoach the other one?
Well, yeah, I would think you look at Clark Lee, what he did over at South Carolina. I mean, I know the South Carolina's quarterback was injured, but Vanderbilt, I mean, the quarterback doesn't play defense, and so Vanderbilt was able to come up with 31 points with all their three teams, the special teams, the defense, and the offense. They had 31 points on the road. That's a big number, Don. They scored 31 points on the road in an SEC game for Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Absolutely, it is. Let's go into a commercial break, and we'll return in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. That's why we have this guy on the show with us, AP Steadham. AP, as we see it. So what's going on with the show?
Yeah, Donna, this week I think we're going to try to preview that Oklahoma-Auburn game because that's pretty big. That's a pretty big ball game this week, Donna. Preview that game and also we're going to do all the teams, of course, all the other 15 teams. And there are some buys this week, Donna. Alabama has a bye, Georgia has a bye, Kentucky has a bye, Texas has a bye, and Texas A&M has a bye. So, but I think we'll try to get someone on the show to preview that Auburn-Oklahoma game because it is a crucial game because both of those teams, Donna, we have spoke about in the preseason. Oklahoma is maybe the surprise team, and Auburn is a team that we thought would be better because of their quarterback situation, who came from Oklahoma. So there's that dynamic of the Oklahoma quarterback transferring to Auburn, making that team better, and now they face each other. So I think that's an important game to discuss.
There have been so many variables, with the new season. Things we thought would happen didn't happen, but what has to play with that? Is it the coach or the quarterback?
Yeah, Donna, a lot of the team's success, and I always use this term, quarterback-centric era. We have the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. You can pay the players. Now, if you have selected a quarterback, you're hoping you're paying this individual the majority of the money that's allocated for your team, and you have to pick the right one. Mm-hmm. For instance, Tennessee, we mentioned, I think they picked the right one in Joey Aguilar after their quarterback transferred to UCLA. So I think they made a good selection, whether it was by default because it was later in the season, the preseason, or they actually evaluated that quarterback and said he's the one we want. But it just so happens that that dynamic where the UCLA quarterback was able to transfer to Tennessee and the Tennessee quarterback transferred to UCLA, that was very interesting. And people are keeping an eye on both quarterbacks. And one quarterback so far has played very well. The other one is struggling at UCLA where they just fired the coach. So you take, for instance, Arkansas. They're scoring a lot of points. They scored 40 points versus Ole Miss, but they lost the game. Not enough defense, Donna. So they figured out one side of the football, but the other side, you have to get people. You have to make stops to give your quarterback and the offense possessions, the extra possessions, so you can take the lead. So Arkansas, they know how to play offense so far with Taylor Green, their quarterback, and Bobby Petrino's the OC, but defense. So, I always mention that. It seems like it's repetitive, but it's just a common theme. It seems like many teams, they have quarterbacks and receivers and running backs and offensive coordinators that put a lot of points on the board, but they fall short on the defensive side. I mean, you score 40 points, then you're supposed to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to win the game. You can't say, well, the quarterback didn't score 50. Well, my goodness, they scored 40. The offense scored 40. Can you play a little bit of defense? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's got to go back to the defense. Absolutely. So let's talk about coming week. Where will you be this week?
Yeah, this week I'm gonna take a breakdown. I'm gonna watch all these games, take them all in, and enjoy the weekend. So just have a little bit of a break for myself before we get back on the road the following weeks.
You want to make some predictions?
I would say, let me see if we can pick a game here that we really like. Let me see here. I'm thinking. I don't know. I guess, and like I said, it'd be a competitive game, but I think Oklahoma's going to beat Auburn. I think on the road. I think that Oklahoma's going to, like I said, be competitive, probably be tight, but I think Oklahoma's going to win that ball game. I mean, Florida's on the road against Miami. I would say Miami's going to win that game against Florida because DJ Lagway he had 5 interceptions last week. Mm-hmm. Miami has a hot quarterback, and their team is playing well, and it's down in Miami, and they're ranked in the top 10 right now. I think Florida's going to lose another game.
That's going to be an ouch.
Yes, yeah, because that would be their third loss.
Mm-hmm.
That would be their third loss, and that seat is really hot right now. Go Florida for Billy Napier, head coach.
Let's talk a little bit about South Carolina and Clemson. What about the heartbreaks there?
Right. South Carolina and Clemson both lost on the same weekend on it. So South Carolina, like I said, their quarterback was injured, but they gave up the 31 points to Vanderbilt. So they were only able to come up with 7. That's not enough, Don. Not enough points. You got to be able to score to be competitive in these games. And then Clemson, they're still struggling on offense, Don. They have a third-year quarterback, Cade Klubnik, had the 21 points, and Georgia Tech field goal kicker, I think it was 55 yards, made that field goal to win the ball game for them. So that was very exciting for the Georgia Tech fans. And maybe Georgia Tech, that Haynes King, he was a transfer down from Texas A&M, playing quarterback for the Yellow Jackets, and he's doing very well. So Georgia Tech is a team to watch. Clemson's second loss. So Dabo Swinney and company, they've got to find some answers offensively.
You think there's anyone within the realm of the teams that we've been talking about that could possibly lose a coach? Or do you think everybody's pretty much well in place?
No. I think Florida, that's a hot seat there. Billy Napier. I think Arkansas, everybody's watching Sam Pittman and what he's going to do with his team. Like I said, they played very well against offensively against Ole Miss. They traveled to Memphis this week, and don't take Memphis lightly. Playing in Memphis, and then they have to host Notre Dame. Down in Notre Dame and Arkansas have never played, so Notre Dame travels to Fayetteville, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And Notre Dame's already lost 2 games. But they're going to be hungry to win as well to try to stay in contention for the college football playoff. But I think you have to watch Arkansas. Arkansas's head coaching position, Florida. Mark Stoops in Kentucky. We'll see what they do. They have the bye week, and they go to South Carolina to face the Gamecocks, who are struggling at the moment. So South Carolina so Kentucky could. That's a big moment for them if they can beat South Carolina in Columbia. I think all the other coaches in the conference, they should be fine. But I would say those two coaches, Arkansas and Florida, we have to watch them. And then, like I say, Kentucky as well. Mark Stoops has been there, and he's the dean of SEC coaches. We'll see how he does this year. He's trying to make a comeback. They had a losing season last year, but he's trying to revitalize that program. So, but I would say at the moment, it's getting very hot in Gainesville. Could be really hot after this weekend if they don't beat Miami, which I don't think they will. That's my projection. And then Arkansas, they need to beat Memphis, and if they beat Memphis and Notre Dame, that would be a nice start for them at Arkansas with a 4-1 start, with then a week off before they travel to Knoxville to play Tennessee. So, yeah.
Let's dig just a little bit more in coaches. I'm not talking about head coaches, but I'm talking about uprising, newer. Who's somebody you've got an eyeball on right now?
Yeah, newer. Donna, my thing is with when you're hiring a coach, if I don't feel like I'm hiring somebody from a current program that's already a head coach, I'm looking for a top assistant. And with 130 plus teams, Don, that's a lot of assistants that are available. And so I don't know all those 130 something assistant coaches. That's eight or nine per team. That's nearly 1,000 coaches, I guess. But if I was an athletic director, I'd be looking around for a young coach, or I don't really care. I don't really care the age, Don, because if I could have somebody for 5 years to get the program moving, that's fine. You're looking at 5-year window, let's say, to really get the program moving. Then you hire somebody else. But look around at these assistants, these coordinators, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. Maybe they weren't even coordinators, but there's just a dynamic personality, because we know that you're the CEO of a team. You're supposed to be coaching the coaches as the head coach. That's really your responsibility. You can't spend as much time coaching a position or being the offensive coordinator. I don't think that I don't advise the head coach to be the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator, because there's so many facets to the game, and during the middle of the ball game, things are moving fast and furious, and I would not want to be responsible for a particular part of the team, the offense, the defense, or the special teams. I think the head coach needs to assign somebody those positions and let them coach, and then you coach them. So to answer your question, if I didn't find a current coach that I liked, I would be looking for an assistant, and I would take that chance. I would believe in my ability to evaluate a coach.
I think so too, and I think a good leader is always looking for somebody that could replace them. I know it sounds really weird for a business person to say that, but you're always looking for somebody who can outdo you.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're looking for somebody that can replace you. The best coach that I found, Donna, they want people that are very bright and smart around them.
Uh-huh.
And it's a reflection when they make that hire of the assistants. Did they hire somebody to be a yes person? But I don't want any yes people around me. I want people to challenge me, to come up with other ideas, original thoughts. That's the type of individuals that I want to surround myself with on this staff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Hey, babe, we got to call it a day. What would you like to tell the folks before you go?
Oh, yeah, just check out our show this week on AP as we see it on the YouTube channel, Spotify, and your local stations. And we look forward to discussing all the SEC games and maybe a few outside as well that have an effect on the national college football scene.
Absolutely. AP, thank you again so much for being with us. And thank you guys so much for watching. Continue sending emails. We love them. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. AP, hang around so I can get you scheduled for next week. Again, thank you guys so much for watching.